So this car, it's a bit of a freak really, because it can go slowly, lovely, and then it can do this. And then you're just like, what the hell happened there? Welcome to Challenge the Road. Now this is part one of road races, the 430 Scuderia. We're going to walk you around this car, show you all the aspects and then take you out for a drive. So let's look at the front of this 430 Scuderia. It's got like a shark fin front. This comes from some of the 1950s racers. I was inspired in that with the design. Much smaller lights than the 360. These lovely vents down here, getting this air through to the radiators. This one's got a carbon front spoiler here, and it's got this racing stripe hand painted all the way through. Scuderia shields. It's just a fantastic looking car, the silver and the red. Rosso Mugello. Now this colour is a very, very one-off colour. It's original Ferrari red. I think there's only two in right-hand drive in the world. So it's a fantastic colour, and with the gold wheels it really sets it off. So we've got these gorgeous 19-inch gold rims on this car with the huge ceramic brakes, black painted calipers on here, Ferrari badge here. We've got metal Scuderia shields, and these carbon wing mirrors make the front of this car look just amazing on this side. And it's just these lovely little vents here, all these little cutaways really make it. But these alloys, the gold and the red, really make this car. So let's have a look at the back of the 430 Scuderia. We've got this Perspex lightweight screen, all the grills up here, this fantastic rear spoiler, much more pronounced than on a 430. This carbon, love this carbon rear grille with the Ferrari badge there, the 430 Scuderia. The exhaust was changed again on the 430. They would have been down there. They raised them up, get that pressure straight through off that exhaust, and it gives it an amazing sound with those titanium exhausts. Huge diffuser underneath. These could be optioned in carbon. This is in the normal style as it would be from Ferrari, but it's a fantastic rear end, and these Enzo lights are just amazing on here. And when you look at it and you see that engine through there, look at that. Does it get any better than that? 503 horsepower, and I can't wait to take you out in this today. So let's jump in this 430 Scuderia. Now, I always remember the first time I got in this car, it just felt like a lightweight racer, and I'd come from a 355, which back then was all leather, manual gearbox, but this has got a carbon edge steering wheel, LED lights, you've got this red rev gauge right in the middle with RPM, you've got the badges here of Ferrari's wins for 5 world championships. So Michael Schumacher actually helped develop this car, and one of the developments we'll see on the road was he was able to put the race setting but still have bumpy mode on the suspension, which gives you that compliance when you're going along, but you've also got full throttle upshifts, which we'll see when we go out. But yeah, it's a lovely place to be. Aluminium pedals, it's aluminium floor, you've got all the little red horses in the seats, light carbon fibre seats as well. Then in the rear view mirror you can see right through to that engine, and as you're changing gear you actually see that engine moving up and down, which on the modern supercars today you just don't see. This is just a fantastic view through there. So let's get this road racer out. I want to get going. Let's get out there. So we're out on the road now. Let's get this 430 going now. Just come out. It's got 5 modes on this car. First mode is wet mode and in automatic. So this is how it feels. Changes gear a little bit slowly, but you've got this there for, say, wet conditions when you need a little bit more traction control to work for you. And you just turn this switch and it goes to sport, which again, keep the shifts at sort of 100 milliseconds. Then you can go to race, change it to 60 milliseconds. We've got CT, which is turning off the traction control but keeping the stability control there. And then we've got CTS off, which is again everything off, and it is everything off, which you wouldn't probably use on the road. Let's just go around these cyclists, so we're around them now. So what does it first feel like? Well, it feels, the steering feels really nicely weighted and it feels special. That's the first thing I feel about this car. And on this road racer one, I'm trying to get you cars that you can just go and drive, don't have to mess around too much. Like this car, I know I'm going to warm it up, I'm going to go to race, and I'm probably going to go to bumpy mode. Bumpy mode setting was put there by Michael Schumacher, who was with Ferrari at the time developing this car. So the 430, you can't have the race upshifts at 60 milliseconds without having the hard suspension. So you can now have the softer suspension, but with the race upshifts. So that's a quick intro to the car. Now we just turned it off auto, so now we're on the paddles. And we're keeping in race, we're just keeping in second. And the great thing with this car is that naturally aspirated engine, which you can just ring out. So we're in second gear, we're now just let that engine go. Downshifts are fantastic in race. As I say, we're not even doing 60 mile an hour, and it's bringing a smile to my face. And that's what these cars are about. So second to third, fourth, fifth, sixth. This gearbox. This is a single clutch gearbox. It feels like a dog box. You just go down, third, second, and then just rev it, let it go. So the thing with the road races is all about road enjoyment, and this has it in spades. You can just go out, drive Sunday morning, come back and think, oh yeah, great, and you haven't gone hugely quick. You've just got a nice speed, you've got yourself a little bit of adrenaline, you've had a bit of fun, and it feels very safe, really safe. And if you just want to put it in sport mode, the traction control settings are very safe indeed. And there's quite a few ways of driving this car. You can either just turn everything off and the ride is lovely and you're just cruising along, and then you can just go right, race mode, select the gears so you're on the paddles and you're off and you're gone again, and you've got all that lovely noise. So we'll head up again, we'll find a little bit more road up here and we'll show you a few more bits on this car. So the great thing about this car, I said, is the suspension. Now it's just a lovely ride. It's not too firm, not too soft. You feel really engaged. The car doesn't feel too big. It feels a lovely size on the road. So when we get to sort of the Lamborghinis and stuff, you're going to feel that it's much bigger. But here, it's a lovely size car. With cars getting bigger all the time, it's nice to be able to have a bit more room on the road. So where would it be with Ferraris? Well, we had the 360 before this, the Challenge Stradale, and that was an amazing car. It was actually built from a race car. This was built from a road car, so I think probably the Challenge Stradale, even though I haven't driven one, will probably feel maybe a bit more aggressive, a bit stiffer. Then the 458 Speciale, I had one of those and struggled a lot with the steering. It felt very light, very pointy. I think maybe a better track car. I think this is just an awesome road car, absolutely awesome. And this is now second gear, you just feel. So let's just have a look at the design of this 430 Scuderia. Now, it was derived, the front, from a 156 race car from 1961 driven by Phil Hill, and it had a shark nose front, and that's part of the design in this. And I know that people said that the F430 maybe wasn't as pretty as the 360, but I don't think it was meant to be. It was meant to be more purposeful, more like a racing car, you know, more of the beast than the beauty. and I love the design. And I love this colour with the red, with the gold wheels. I think it really, really goes with this car. The interior is fantastic. You've got these lights here you can't see, but when I'm shifting up, they all come up and then flash off as you go up through the gears. Lovely steering wheel, feels actually really nice. It's actually quite thin on here. I know steering wheels have got thicker and thicker, I think, especially with the 458, but this feels lovely down through here. Do just this. I think the great thing is the gearbox, the engine and the suspension all work perfectly together in this car. Not sure you can really fault it in any way. So let's head on a bit further and then we'll do a bit more down here. So this car, it's a bit of a freak really, because it can go slowly, lovely, and then it can do this. And then you're just like, what the hell happened there? And that is where I said about the wheels. The grip, it's just trying to grip and it's trying to go at the same time and you feel it. But it's all totally under control because Ferrari made the systems fantastic on this car. It doesn't feel, that's not a problem at all. We do that all day long. Oh, this is exciting, this car. I remember in 2008, this come out, and then I bought one in 2009, end of 2009, and then after about 3 months I started my business and I sold the car, and it was exactly this car, Rosso Mugello with this stripe. And I think I was depressed for about 2 years after that because it just gives you so much adrenaline and such a buzz. And with these older ones, you can clean them yourself. You know, there's no PPF on this. I just clean it. You can do the lights. And I think I was say it depressed me for 2 years. I think not having this car, and just being able to get one back now has just been a fantastic feeling. And I know for all you guys out there and girls who are maybe looking at starting your own business now, and everything that's going on, I had a dream to buy a Ferrari. That's what I wanted, that was it. Nothing was going to stop me, that's what I wanted to do. And then to be able to have these level of cars now, it's just incredible. And dreams do come true. You do sometimes, it happens where you can think, well, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And it's not just one thing, it's, you know, it accumulates. If you do a lot of things well, then you're able to get where you want to be. So let's just take this through the gears at a nice speed, and this is what I mean by enjoying the car, where you can just rev the car out. So we're in second, we just let this rev, and it's still revving, and third. And that's the enjoyment of this car, is that naturally aspirated engine. You can just rev it. If you were in, say, a McLaren or something like that, you're going to have the power, it's going to hit you and then it's going to go, and then it's going to hit this, you just keep going. It's just enjoyable. It's not even, I wouldn't say it's not really scary, it just feels good. And that's how it should be. It shouldn't absolutely scare you all the time. And that's what this car is. It's just an absolutely brilliant road racer, because you can go really slowly, you can go fast, it looks great, it feels compliant. So this is going to be a hard one to beat, very hard one to beat.